Hi guys, this is Moletrap, a very excited Moletrap. I seem to have gotten over my tiredness through the course of the last game. This is going to be nuts. This is game 5. If you haven't seen the games before this, then it doesn't matter. Watch this one anyways, because this is going to be freaking crazy. This is the rematch between Jaedong and Bisu. Bisu lost the winner's match, and I'm sorry, Bisu won the loser's match, and Jaedong lost the winner's match, and so now they're meeting in the final match, and this is going to be freaking epic because these two guys both want this MSL. Both former MSL champions, both on the verge of getting out of the MSL on this one game.
Yeah, that first game that they had against each other was pretty one-sided in my opinion, but the last couple of games we've seen, Jaedong then went on to get dominated by Huashin, and Bisu then just walked all over Frosian, so maybe there's been a bit of a turnaround recently. This map, Colosseum, as I've been saying recently to these guys and probably in the commentaries, is that this map is actually quite macro management orientated because there are two bases nearby, but I do know that Bisu is spawned at the top right in green there, and Jaedong spawned at the top left as the white Zerg, and they're quite close to each other. One thing that something happened to me recently when a guy was playing against me on this map is that he sunk rushed me because there's an actual strip with a sunken colony, a neutral sunken colony outside your base. So that was really a pain in the ass, and it's an option open to Jaedong. He's not going to take that by the looks because he's wanting to go for a quick hatchery, but Bisu actually coming in quickly with the probe and actually denying this early hatchery. So great here play by Bisu, just fending him off a bit. Bisu's going to be able to go for an expansion, and the thing is, this map has a protected expansion with a really narrow choke point, so it's very easy to be defensive on this map, and then later on you can just push out a little bit to that other nearby. It's almost like you have two natural expansions. One natural expansion is protected, and the other one is sort of out a bit with a couple of ramps nearby, but it's still very close to your main, so it's easy to defend. So hopefully we're seeing a macro management game, because I really want to see what these guys have to offer in terms of late game play on this map. But because they haven't spawned cross map, one of them might have some special plan in mind. Bisu going for the Nexus and Gateway, so really confident play. He's not gone Forge first. He hasn't had to, so this could actually turn out to be more of a late game kind of ordeal.
He's doing a really good job with that probe harass. He's I think he could have done a little bit longer. Actually, no, I take that back. I lied completely. I was just about to say he was about to meet that third hatchery going out, really predicting Jaedong's build. Jaedong not even producing Zerglings. He's got that spawning pool down, but no Zerglings before that third hatchery. So really gonna try to, I guess, boost up economically. Not opting for Overlord building right there, I should say. And so it looks like, yeah, Savory going for a pretty standard Bisu build across his front door. He's already got the gateway down. And I'm kind of curious how this will map. I expect Jaedong, honestly, to go Hydralisks, especially because Cliffside, I think that Cliff can really play an interesting kind of ranged effect, if you know what I mean. With the 70% hit ratio, you only have 70% hit up Cliffside. And basically, the cannons are not as effective in that circumstance, so I think Hydralisks are extra powerful. And then I'm kind of curious to see how drops go, because obviously you need to go drop at some point in this map. You need to get kind of over that hump. Well, you don't absolutely need to, but it's I think it's logical, and I just really am kind of curious how Jaedong's going to play this. I haven't seen a lot of matches of this. Zelt's being produced, so it looks like he's going to push up some pressure. And my question is what is Bisu going to do as well? Is he going to go with those standard Dark Templar? Are we going to see something new from him? Obviously, his non-standard build game 1 didn't end up working for him. We've also seen him go recently Reaver Corsair, and there's that fourth hatchery going down, as well as the gas for Jaedong. So it does look like he is in fact planning on going Hydralisk. But keep in mind, he's also got 3 gas. A lot of gas on this map, so a lot of options. But yeah, I'm kind of curious what Bisu will do as well. It looks like he's actually, wow, it looks like he might be sitting up for third expansion, or maybe that's just a scout.
I imagine he's probably going to go for another. It looks like his scout died, so he's going to try and go for another scout there. Finally getting the Cybernetics core. So he's a little bit, yeah, he's going to be getting out his, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does, you're right, because he's done a lot of different things lately. Although, I don't know, he hasn't been adapting too much lately, is my concern for him. In general, not in his Protoss versus Zerg, I guess, that much. He's been doing some interesting stuff, but I don't know. some reason I can't bring any specifics to mind, but it strikes me that he hasn't been adapting to things very well lately. And there's the Stargate going up. So at this point, we're gonna see if he ends up getting going for a Citadel or something like that, or a second Stargate. Just gonna have to wait and see what he does, I suppose. But Jaedong building up his economy in the meantime, and as we all know, that is going to be bad news for Bisu. The more he lets Jaedong build up his economy, the more he's going to get closed.
Yeah, in fact, Hydralisk then going down for Jaedong, so he's not going to go for Mutalisks. We could see a similar game to last time when the guys played in the first match of Group A, but I'm really glad that Bisu's gone for Stargate because that's what he's proven to be good at, and maybe the variation here, rather than him needing to adapt, is the fact that they're playing on a fresh map, and this could be a map that favours Bisu if he's... I mean, Moletrap, as you said, Jaedong does really well with a high economy, but let's not forget that once Bisu gets a lot of air units out, he definitely is quite strong as well. I'm going to find it a bit hard to call, but I'm going to say this again, I'm quite glad that he did go for Corsairs, because this will allow him to perhaps gain a bit of mid-game control with either Dark Templars or Reavers, depending on what he does. He doesn't want to delay around too long. What he wants to do is just get a lot of units together to actually push out, because this map has a lot of gas. It's in fact got another expansion nearby. You can in fact go for a quick 4 base, although one of those bases is going to be mineral only. But the point is that this map is actually macro management orientated. And in fact, robotic support bay going down, so we're going to actually see Reaver Corsair combination. That could be really good. Notice that this expansion that we're looking at right here is really vulnerable to Reaver harass, because it's got a single ramp and there's just like a whole open area where you can just land Reavers and take them out. So Jaedong going for a Spire as well, in fact going for that hatchery as I mentioned at the 4th base location. So Jaedong is really going to be in a position to get a huge economy going up. I actually expect Jaedong to go for a hive shortly after he's had an opportunity to prevent Bisu from doing any damage in the mid game. But Bisu is going to have some Reavers showing up, and it's just going to remain to see. I mean, Jaedong won't know that Bisu is going for Reavers because he has no scout in Bisu's space that far. But if he senses something coming and has units nearby to defend, he's really going to be able to prevent himself from losing too many drones from that harass. And you guys might remember that triple commentary with Klazart last time. What we saw from Bisu was, what we saw from Jaedong was drones being borrowed to prevent the Reaver Sair harassment last time, and maybe he'll do that again.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how he's going to deal with this. He's sending out that Scourge. One, putting down that Spire to keep Bisu honest, making sure he does dedicate with that air, and then additionally bring those Scourge alongside the Scout. We've seen him do that a lot recently. Now he knows that those Reavers are going to be inbound. He doesn't obviously know how many Reavers. Didn't see that drop shuttle out yet, but I have to suspect after this amount of time he does suspect it. Right now, Jaedong really taking the game economically. Bisu is not expanded beyond this. He hasn't pushed any up with any economic harassment either. He really needs to get kind of off his butt here and start pushing up with some sort of harass. It's interesting though with those Hydralisks have a hard time getting around. I wouldn't be surprised if Jaedong decides to just invest in a Sun Colony or two at each expansion, just making sure that he gets some time actually just to get back, or we'll see though. But in the meantime, yeah, we saw him, Bisu do this recently, now getting down to Citadel of Down, so maybe switching tech as well, so Bisu being a little bit, I don't know, ambivalent. I guess these Reavers were just to hold, but while he's just holding, and while he's not doing any economic harassment, Jaedong is probably going to run away with the game here. He's already got 4 hatcheries up at 4 mineral expansions, and as you said before, I have to completely agree, probably going to tech straight to Hive, and he's just going to have an overwhelming force, not of just Hydralisks, but possibly Ultralisks, etc. in a minute here. He's already got 2 evolution chambers. Now we're seeing him push out, but I feel like this is very late. Oh, Hydralisks burrowed along the way. Just waiting to snipe. Doesn't look like it went off. That was really close, though.
That was deadly.
Clever maneuver there from Jaedong. Oh, my goodness. But that, at the very least, though, what that's going to cost, and Burrow's so effective because you keep the scout up, even though the Corsairs are running around the map and killing you, and you can basically protect your overlords, still get the scout out, and this is what was very effective, I think, Quano versus Bisu with a very similar build. But now my question is what can Bisu do to fight this off? Hydralisks all over the map. He doesn't have a lot of Reavers out, and he's still out of 2 bases versus Jaedong's 4.
Yeah, things not looking too good for Bisu. I mean, Bisu is Bisu, so you never know when he's going to pull something out of his hat. But yeah, things not looking good in general. Now he's going to try and use those Reavers to kind of secure another base. And yeah, Jaedong, this is something that we saw, and maybe he did it beforehand, but when I saw it first was, oh, Jaedong coming in here with a lot of Hydrals though, and those two Reavers are going to be able to put a big dent in him, but I don't think there's quite enough Reavers. He's falling back the Reavers, and more Zealots are coming in though, so he's going to be able to hold this off after all. I thought for a second that he just had too many Hydras. He looks like he's, oh, he does snipe one Reaver, and snipes the other Reaver as well! Wow, sniping both of the Reavers. Oh my gosh. Bisu now does not have anything to defend that base, and Jaedong, with his 4 base economy, is just going to go in. It looks like he's routing more and more Hydralists to that spot there. Bisu does not have any more Reavers. He does not have Templar out yet. He does not have basically anything to stop mass Hydras at that base. He's got one Reaver. It's going to get sniped as well. Hydra's coming in from both sides. The game is slipping away from Bisu very, very quickly right now.
Yeah, it's funny to notice that Bisu doesn't actually have reserves up, so if Jaedong went for Lurkers, that'd really be really painful. But he doesn't even need Lurkers. He's got so many Hydralists. The Hydralists can easily take care of the Corsairs and whatever. He's just done a great job of sniping those Reavers, and I've got to say that things are looking very, very bad for Bisu indeed. He's going to really struggle to get that 3rd base up. He might be going for Dark Templars, but the thing is that Jaedong's Overlords aren't really in any trouble because the huge amount of Hydralists that Jaedong's got at this point, and they're upgraded, they'll soon be upgraded with attack and defense. They're going to be more than enough to prevent the Corsairs from doing too much damage. I noticed that Jaedong's been doing really well with burrowing units just to scout, and that's really been working for him, and that's really taken advantage of the fact that Bisu's observers have been slow. He's got 1 up now, but Jaedong in fact going for Mutalisks now, so he feels so confident that his Mutalisks will be able to take out those Corsairs that he's just coming in on the offensive now, completely preventing Bisu's 3rd base from going up. Attacking the Corsairs now. The Mutalisks actually walking over the Corsairs. He hasn't got enough of them. Mutalisks destroying this 3rd Nexus as it warps in. Things looking really bad. Bisu actually pushing out with a group of Zealots now, and they're actually attacking directly. This is really desperate stuff. As soon as those Mutalisks get backed up, really easily going to be able to save the day. Those Zealots on their own should be able to take out the Hydralists, but micromanagement too good from Jaedong, and finally the Mutalisks show up and those Zealots are all going to be dead. Bisu must really be panicking right now because he knows that he's really behind economically. He's got more Reavers, not going to do well. A single Archon, that's going to help against the Mutalisks, but not by very much because the Mutalisks are just icing on the cake, I feel. I mean, the cake is effectively the 4 base economy that Jaedong's got rolling, and the massive amount of Hydralists, and just pushing it now directly into his base. And I'm just going to call it here, guys. There's nothing really that Bisu can do. I think we're looking at GG right now.
Yeah, he's pushing it right now. I have to give it to Jaedong, though, doing an excellent shift maneuver there. Switching to Mutalisk when he knew that Bisu hadn't been keeping up. He kind of switched tech when he didn't have the economy to keep up. And yeah, you're right, the icing on the cake, 4 bases, and there's GG from Bisu. Wow, so Bisu just kind of pulling a Frozen there and being a little bit too passive, letting Jaedong just get a huge economy. Jaedong's going to advance.
Jaedong looks
Bisu
like, geez,
eliminated.
why didn't he put up a better fight? What the heck? Look at his face. He's like,
Yeah.
that
I
was
think it's
too
actually
easy.
quite ironic, really, but Jaedong was watching the previous game and maybe he thought, well, Bisu beat Frozen by doing that. I'll just pull that little trick on Bisu, give him a taste of his own medicine. That's quite sad.
Look, Jaedong looks disappointed. He looks
Think
disappointed.
about it, a
Like,
more epic. Yeah.
he's like, what was that, Bisu? You're supposed to be the top dog. You're like the most famous as being the best, as being the best Protoss versus Zerg ever, and that's all you can give me. Yeah, all you can give me is a last ditch 15 Zealot attack on my base. Man, but this also means though that Jaedong has shown that he is definitely superior. There's no doubt about it. Some people thought, oh, Jaedong beat Bisu on Blue Storm and that was imbalanced and all that stuff. There's no doubt anymore. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I have to say, Jaedong, not just winning that, but winning decisively. Excellent shift. I really like that Mutalisk shift, because basically that he was able to pick off the Templar before they even really got any Psystorm out right during that shift. Jaedong just really showing some really good game sense in the games that he's played thus far, especially in Game 1 and also in Game 2. Didn't even have a scout really on what kind of the general unit count for Bisu was, and just knowing that, hey, I can switch to this and I'm going to be okay. But obviously having that big economy behind it. But yeah, it'll be exciting to see him down the line. Uh, any other thoughts from you guys there?
Yeah, the only point in this series, in this Group A, that we've seen Jaedong slip has been this game against Washington, and maybe we can just attribute that to his game plan for that particular map, and perhaps he was really counting on his plan working better for that map, and it didn't. So, I mean, that could have been up. I mean, obviously his game sense is still right up there. His micromanagement and macromanagement are not faltering at all. And should we see a rematch between Jaedong and Huashin on a different map? It looks like he's been gifted with a mouse there. Do you guys know what that's about?
I don't know.
I
He
think
was
that might be
waving
a
his
little
mouse
bit of...
around when he won. So maybe there's something of significance there. I unfortunately don't know.
Yeah. I think there was
Good
some
stuff.
sort of bonus that either from taunting or something like that, where like the best trash talk of the day got some
That
sort of
was no,
prize
that
or
was
something
during
like that. I
the
don't know.
selection ceremony though. Well, maybe I'm
You're
wrong.
right,
Maybe
I'm
they
off there.
continue that into the group stages.
I don't
But
know. I don't know what that's about. We should look that up, actually. Ask someone. Maybe someone knows and they can post a comment and we'll find out down the line.
maybe someone knows and they're gonna
Anyway,
keep it a secret from us.
jerks. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Once again, check out Vaul SC. He's got a great YouTube account up. He's done a lot of really good first-person VODs, in my opinion. And yeah, once again, thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thanks, guys. Really enjoyed commentating with you guys as usual.
Word.